La 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 la, just can't get you out of my hand.
Welcome to another episode of the SimNation Podcast. We are here with Fallon
Hi.
and Jan, who's back.
Hello!
Had
I'm off
his-
maternity leave. I've had my baby. I'm back.
Yeah, first man to give
Yeah.
baby.
And he drank his baby. Oh,
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. And I'm Pablo, by the way. And for this week, we actually wanted to start doing something different, although it's going to be hard given the few pieces of news that have been last week's. But basically, we want to switch for making some news and updates on the very beginning, so you kind of get updated with whatever is going on in the simulation world. And then we have Fallon's mods or something like that. We should find a good title for it. 5 random mods for The Sims 4, and then the usual chatting nonsense you love, and that's why you come. And also, by the way, I'd like to add that we are on iTunes. You can just look for SimNation on, I don't know. Just don't pay attention to this, guys. And just look for SimNation. You
I
can
have a
download
cold.
our
I'm
podcast,
sick.
subscribe to it, and also don't forget to go to simnation.tv, where you're going to find all the articles that we talk about, and then also the forums, which are awesome. You should totally join and discuss with us. And now we are...
And now clap for Pablo, because that was some very good plugging.
Thank you. That was very smooth, huh?
He finally knows what plugging means.
I'm not plugging you.
He plugs a lot of things now,
God.
if you get my drift. No, just kidding.
Giggity.
Right.
So,
How about we actually segue into the news section before we start the random conversation again?
Please,
I'm
and do
going
the
to kick
honors.
us off. I'm going to kick us off with City Skylines. These guys actually talked last week about the dev diaries, which were all about zoning, and which Pablo was a bit shady about at the beginning. But they basically went zoning. I put the link already on the Discuss forums. You can find it there. And this week they just released a kind of a little news snippet, not really a snippet, on October 23rd, which is this Thursday. There's going to be another live stream. They're going to focus on policies in cities and city services. So if you actually want your questions answered, or at least want the chance to get them answered, you can head to 400politicsplaza.com. I'm sure there's going to be a link in the description below once I remind Pablo to do it. And
Yes,
you can just leave your comment in there. Or if you tune in for the live stream at twitch.tv/paradoxinteractive, you can just put it in the chat box, and they will look at it and discuss it. And
Yes,
they're amazing. There's not going to be the Polish girl this week. But there's going to be 2 guys, Jakub Munthe and Andreas Reinström even. And that's about it, what I had for Cities Excel. It was a slow news week this week. I was hoping for another dev diary, but it didn't happen. However, these guys did make a video a few days ago about some Sims things, so I'm just going to let them talk about it for a few minutes, because it's not my thing.
all right. I did put on here, like on our side. Oh, damn, the other side. The picture of the stream. Although, by the way, it doesn't really show anything. I see some factories. Really, that's all you see.
Yeah, I think it was just a picture, just so that they had something
But
to
these
show.
are like policies and services. Maybe it's like, oh, you cannot pollute on this area, or you cannot do this. You know?
Yeah, like policies like restrictions to height of buildings. So because I don't know if you mentioned it last week, but you only have low density and high density zones. So you can affect the high density zones by height policies. So you can only build this height and not above it. So that kind of creates medium density
That's
zones,
interesting.
which is something that has been requested and was then answered. I think I actually read the response today by the dev team. So
Oh, it was requested by the users, and they were like, okay, here it is.
no, users were asking about it, if there is a medium density, because it wasn't featured. And they said, no, there isn't, but you can affect the height with policies. And the buildings do actually, there are models specific for it, so it's not a problem.
Cool. Nice. I like the way they're going with the game. I like all
It's
the
looking
attention to
really, really
details. man, it's
Yeah.
gonna be the ultimate city builder.
Hopefully, yes.
That's what it seems like. I mean, I thought
I know
SimCity 5 was gonna be one.
I know I've been calling it kind of the spiritual successor to SimCity and Cities XL, kind of mashed together and into an awesome thing. And I have really high hopes for it, so I do hope they achieve to that level that I'm hoping that they will. Otherwise, it's going to be like dash dreams.
Plus, they deserve it. I mean, they're not doing all the corporate crap. Like, they don't play that way, you know? The way they do things. So it'd be good for these guys to get something.
Yeah, and it's really good. And I'm hoping they kind of continue going that way. As for the expansion packs, they did say they do have a few things in store. I read an interview somewhere on one of the websites, I don't remember where. They have a few things in store, and knowing it's a Paradox game, it's probably going to be 2-3 months after release. You're going to have an expansion pack that's going to cost somewhere between 5 and 15 euros, which is about $9 to $20.
Is that part of your 7 billion expansions?
No.
No.
They don't do 7 billion expansions, and expansions are never as expensive. They also free patches, which add a bunch of mechanics always. And they're kind of like, you don't need them to play the game and it'd be a good game, but if you want something a little bit extra, you can support us this way. It's the same with Sprite packs with their other games.
By the way, I'm in favor of, developers continuing the development of the game, and, if they're producing a big new piece of the game, to charge you for it, because they're working for it. What I don't agree is hey, here's just 3 chairs, 4 tables, $40. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Not everyone can perfect the Sims stuff pack kind of expansion. The Sims
I guess
the regular Sims expansion. I mean, I've noticed in the past, and I'm pretty sure now that there was this announcement about Sims new expansion packs, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I don't like the EA way of games. I don't like how they do things, ever. It's always a base game, and then there's expansion packs. Ooh, a new expansion packs, and it adds this little bit of content, and it costs as much as the base game, and I'm always going, well, why the fuck are you doing this?
Yeah, that's how a big company works. Like, basically, they go like, well, we did it on The Sims 1, and it worked so well, we're going to keep on doing that thing, because it's the main profit income on EA. And by the way, let me add, they didn't want to make The Sims 1, like, they didn't want to, put much budget into it, because when they made the projection, according to Will Wright, basically the projection is based on, different other games that are sort of like the same or similar, to the game you are making, and then they go like, okay, well, these sold this much, so we can, estimate that it's going to sell this much. They are estimated about selling to between 50 and 100,000 copies. Then it became the best-selling game of all times, and they were like, maybe we should invest on this thing. And now they care, and they made a bunch of content.
I think that the expansions
only because it's worth so much money.
But they shouldn't make them so much money. Because otherwise you'd have everything in the base game, and then you'd be forced to have that in your game, regardless if you wanted it or not.
I don't have a problem with the content. I have the problem that it's so divided up. Like, each expansion pack, from my point of view, adds so little. And costs so much. I would rather see fewer expansion packs, maybe spaced a bit more further apart, and have, kind of mushed together, have more content. Because
or you know what?
If I remember correctly with the original Sims, it was more like that. They used to have a lot more content in an expansion pack than they do now. And they just repeat them as well.
I guess
there's a set of expansion packs that's always come out.
Yeah.
Maybe they were named slightly differently, but...
Yeah, I guess there are some things that you have to repeat because people request them. But, I would agree that maybe they feel too expensive, because maybe it's okay if they're smaller, because you can just pick the features you want, but, cost proportionally, because basically you're saying that this costs, 2/3 of the game if it's $40 and the game is 60, right? So...
and it's bullshit. It
should be $20.
It's pure cash cow. It's the only thing. It's just a cash cow. And that's the only thing that EA does these days, cares more about money than anything else. And that's what makes it so bad. And with the stupid DRM restrictions.
What?
Exactly. It's just, you can't do that and then expect not to have backlash from Play it.
I think
Think of
like
backlash
with this survey that they're coming out, they should probably pick like the top 2 or 3 most requested things, and if they're similar enough, they should put them together in one expansion pack. Like me and Pablo, I don't know. Did you watch the 40-minute one? We did a 40-minute one of just talking about
plug it.
the expansions. And like some of them are would fit so well together that it's a shame if they actually made them separate. Like there's the open for business kind of style one where you run the business that you want. Like you can have a bakery or did they say restaurant, cafe, a museum or something. The museum kind of seems a little boring, but like you run your business.
I used to make people play poker on my business on the Sims 2. I don't know why, but I was like, board tables.
Well, I don't.
A florist.
I just had
I sell flowers.
I did a restaurant, I think, was my only business I did. But so like they have that one, and that one would kind of either go well with, what were we saying? Would it go well with the active careers one, where you go to your job and do your job, like, or would it go well with the mayor one, the city one? They'd go like 2 of them would go well.
For me, the spa one would fit in because it would be like, a spa could be one of the things you can run, because they wanted you to run the spa at some point. So like, okay, well, you can just put a spa on your own as part of the business owner for open or whatever. I was mixing up the
mayor for open business. Manager, neighborhood, city life. I mean, whatever.
Spa. You forgot spa at the end.
Spa. Darn, I can't. That's too many.
I'm gonna be the next marketing guru in EA.
Yeah,
they're all gurus, by the way.
I would hope they would do it like that, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be that way. Or eventually it's just going to be released as a separate expansion pack. I mean, I haven't really looked into it, but...
So I can pick the things I want. You know?
Yeah, what they did was in the survey, there's 7 kind of ideas, and we are not sure if they're actual... If each idea is actually its own expansion pack, or maybe they're thinking about different like things to implement. Like there's one that was literally just about, it was called health and wellness, and all it mentioned was having a spa and like a personal trainer. And so we're thinking like, okay, so
that sounded like I almost completed off on this game already. So
like all this, like so you know, it seemed like it was just one little feature. I would hope not a whole expansion based off of having a spa.
Yeah. But by the way, if you're interested on that conversation, we have a full 40-minute video that we talk about and we discuss it. And I may actually remember to put a link on the description below. Who knows?
I'll bother you on it. It's just, I do hope... That's another thing with EA. They're very secretive. And if they release something, it's so indescriptive. You can just kind of guess. Maybe sometimes. And it's just...
Yeah, I guess it's very...
This was a very weird survey because on the one hand, it's kind of a survey of possible expansion packs. And they're still so secretive, you don't really know what could possibly be in them. And when you start reading them, you're like, is this going to be an expansion pack? Like, any one of these doesn't seem enough to be an expansion pack. It's more like maybe a sort of a free patch that adds a few things, but it wasn't to me when I read the list, it wasn't expansion pack worthy. Maybe if some of them were combined, yes, but otherwise no.
Yeah.
Me and Pablo said that it seemed like they took, like, from The Sims 3 at least, or The Sims 2, and then they kind of broke up the different parts of the thing, like the nightlight, not the nightlight, the city one.
Yeah, because you have city
one, they broke up
superstar kind of thing.
Yeah,
separated.
They broke up the celebrity aspect, and then like the DJ and the party aspect.
Which if they were separate, it'd be quite expensive, $40 for that. I wouldn't play.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're all separate. I'm just gonna assume for being good, and
EA,
give
take
them
our
the
top
benefit of the doubt. That's it.
Take our top 3 and then give us the options of putting them together, and then you go. Do like a 2 for 10.
The survey just looked very, very too much. It just, if they went, okay, you have 3 options. These 3, this one adds, I don't know, the spa thing and the open for business kind of thing, and whatever the other one was, the mayor kind of thing. And then the second one was, another set combination, and the third one was a combination. And then they went, which one would you like to see? Then that would make sense as an expansion pack. But these were just way too broken up. It was nothing that you could ever go on.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to figure out really, pinpoint the exact features people want.
I think probably the most
And,
complete one would be the active careers, because that reminded me of Ambitions,
That
where that
sounded
was
like
basically
too
what it
complex.
was, where you got all these new careers that you went to with your sim.
Yeah,
that
but
would be like the most.
there's a better way of figuring out what your customers want than just giving them a list of vague options. If they went with the 3 packs, like I said, or some, and
Yeah.
just gave descriptions
Yeah, I
and were
guess they
like
do
this,
wanna-
this, and this, you always have comments. Just put the comments, and then actually read through them. Because I've
Yeah.
noticed they don't do that often.
But it was just checkboxes. I mean,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
hopefully
but-
they'll just
The poll was
combine some of the
checkboxes, not-
best received features.
yeah, they're gonna look at
And then
stats
put
and go
them.
like. That is something that they do on Guild Wars 2 a lot. I know it has nothing to do with simulation, but they listen to people so much that like they make a thread about like a very specific thing about like balance in game mode and about a very specific part of that game mode, and then people just put all the comment and they actually go read them and then extract useful information for it, because people give you ideas, they give you new content if you make new ideas out of what you just wrote.
Yeah,
And
which is
that's more
exactly what
useful.
Paradox does with dev diaries.
Paradox does that very well.
They allow them comments, and they actually respond to comments. Like, I go through dev diaries, I read the dev diary, and then maybe a day or two later, I go through the comments and kind of see what the Paradox
They
devs
respond.
have responded to. Yeah, they respond.
How dare
Yeah.
they to be human?
I know. I mean, I get it that EA is a big company and has a lot of
This is-
games,
there
so
are
they
a lot
maybe
of
don't have.
gamers.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still they just don't really give a shit. I mean, they don't. At this point, it's just
Jan doesn't like
money.
EA.
Hey,
I
at
don't
least
like
okay.
EA. I mean, there are a few things. There are a few
We
games
know.
that I like from EA. It's fine. I mean, there are a few games that I'm very passionate about and love a lot. But there's certain parts where I'm just like really. I'm just like, do we really need this? And whenever I watch their E3 or G3 or whatever presentation is, it's always the exact same when it gets to sports. They say the exact same shit every year and release a shit game every year.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. But it's
And
I mean, now
it's
like
just
the
money
new
at this
CEO
point.
wants to like turn that around. That's why they're giving away like free games every week or so on Origin, which it doesn't really make it up. But I guess that like they're trying really hard now to like not be the worst company every year voted.
I think
And,
they
Yeah,
did
I
get a
think
lot of
when
negative feedback, and that's why they
when-
probably.
But it's gonna take them like longer than just that to make it up. It's
Look,
on the
when
way
you-
you
when-
do it and not gifts.
When you slip beyond Activision bad level, that's just, I mean, that's
Yeah.
what EA is these days. It's just,
EA now has to start doing things well and wait for another company to take its place. That's the only way. Because for now, like if the internet has to troll something, it's gonna troll EA. I mean, that's the best thing to go like, oh, you suck, right? But
yeah, and I'm not saying they don't, it's, some of those trolls are not justified, but a lot of them are. I mean, EA has done things in the past where you're like, really?
yes, they have.
Like with the always online DRM for SimCity, like that was the
But
stupidest.
even the way they advertise their games, what was it?
Yeah,
Dante's
and then-
Inferno? They made like a fake protest saying, like against EA and something like that because the game was so demonic and so on. It's like, no, you're just making us all look stupid. Like you just set up back in the whole gaming industry 10 years behind because of that bullshit you just did.
Yeah,
there.
and their PR is just on an abysmal level lately. I mean, the fact that
We
every
should stop
presentation they
bashing
do, yeah, the fact that every presentation they do is exactly the same as the previous.
Jan's rant.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we should
like,
move to
the
something
only-
else.
The only good thing they do is the free games every now and then. That's kind of maybe slightly more of a positive spin. On the other hand, they're on Origin, so
I
Yeah,
downloaded
it's
Dragon Age because it said it was free and I only had 2 days left, and I haven't played it yet. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just
Hopefully- hopefully they'll finally get their heads out of their asses and they'll at least start to do better. Like they put in the free stuff in the patches that we didn't have to pay for.
Oh, and the
'Cause-
Sims. It is true that their Maxis at least is playing the good role. I mean, they said those features are gonna come. I know you need them, and Oh, there they are. They're free and they're here just a few months after the launch. You know,
I really hope they give more. I really hope they push their crap less on their developing studios.
Yeah.
So that they give their developing studios more of a free hand. And
yeah, it's true. Like so many people left the SimCity group after the launch because there were many people in disagreement with many things, including DRM, and they didn't like directly say it, but they were like trying to hint you the best way possible, because they can't say it while they're employees. But people sometimes get on the developers, and the developers usually just have their hands tied. I mean, it's not that they want to make a bad game. It's their baby. It's like Jan's baby last week. It's, his Sprite bottle.
Which he drank.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just the corporate side was a lot of pressure. So I'm hoping they kind of let go on that for everyone's sake, especially with some new games coming out. Like there's a lot of expectation for the new Mass Effect game. And so I'm hoping it's not as forced with EA. It's just, I'm hoping EA finally realized that maybe it's not good to push their crap onto their developing studios, and maybe that will kind of help. And I'm hoping that this change with free patches for The Sims is kind of a starting point for that. But in my books, EA is still the shittiest publisher you could find.
We'll have to give it a few years, I think, for that to even have an opportunity to change. But oh well.
Alrighty.
Right, we can move on.
It's okay. It's okay.
On the topic of free patches, there was a patch at the beginning of the month for Sims 4 that added the ghosts or whatever they added. And so we're hoping first Wednesday in November. There's also going to be the pools or whatever they're adding now.
Pools.
Yeah, if they keep the trend of like the beginning of the month. I mean, the 1st of October happened to be on a Wednesday. So the 5th of November will be the first Wednesday. So hopefully that'll be when they release pools. But they are super secretive and they don't really say anything until the day it comes out. Yeah. So and then the only other thing that
it's funny that there's a picture of Ghost that they released before the actual release of the Ghost. There was a swimming pool on the background.
Oh.
And that's because, they were testing things, and then, once the ghosts were ready to ship, they shipped the ghosts, but they took a picture. They forgot they were testing the pools behind.
Well, hey, well.
And the pools look good, let me tell you. Actually, let me find the screenshot for you.
I had to really, Pablo, doesn't believe a word I say. I'm like...
Why?
I don't know if you know yet, Jan, but the pools before, obviously, you had to have the ladder to get out of them. Now your Sims can climb out of the pool on their own. They don't need a ladder.
Finally.
And I made fun of Pablo because I read to him this excerpt where the guy was like, we want it to be super hard for your Sims to die. So you can't just try to drown them by taking the ladder out of the pool. You're going to have to really work for it.
Yeah. It's interesting, dude.
I'm just gonna quickly mention while Pablo finds the picture. I forgot to mention on Thursday, 23rd of October, where the Paradox stream is about City Skylines. It's at 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Nice.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
I'll be home.
So will I.
Streaming party. Actually, let's get drunk. Oh, you won't be home?
I'm not. No.
But you can't come in the drunken streaming party.
Wait. Oh, you're not going to be home? Damn.
Well, I can be home. Currently, I'm not planning to be home. I'm always out during those hours. I'm out between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. every day.
Quick thing. It's funny because I googled The Sims 4 Ghost pictures and
did you find them with the pool?
Screenshots from SimNation are coming up.
Oh.
I know those.
I love how at this point me and Fallon have taken over so much that Pablo needs to raise his hand.
Oh, I know. Because I was still looking for this. I cannot find it. Damn it. Oh well.
It's okay. Yeah. So, and then the only other thing that we know of so far for this year is then in December, the new career will come out. which we have no idea what it is. But
it's like a Christmas update, I guess.
Which is kind of funny, though. They're coming out with a new career, and then they're sending us these surveys, and then one of the potential is career. Whatever. Pablo thinks it would be Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Santa Fallon.
No, unless you give me cookies.
Yes,
That'll only be the
awesome.
only way I'll be Santa Fallon. Free cookies coming this way.
I have free cookies. I just bought some today. Double chocolate chip.
Ooh, but they're not free if you bought them.
Well, yes, I would give them to you for free.
Oh, yay! I like milk too. Milk and cookies.
Yeah, he likes to milk too. Games.
Since Pablo can't seem to find the screenshot, maybe we can. You should just believe us. It was like that.
I didn't make it up.
Move on. Yeah.
Should we move? We should move on.
Things we have screenshots of. So we were kind of thinking that once a week with the podcast, after we're done with the news section, Fallon's gonna find some Sims 4 mods, and we're gonna talk about them. And Pablo will hopefully put pictures up of those.
Yeah. Hopefully, Pablo, get your shit together. Ooh, sorry.
So
No, it's fine.
This is my section where I can zone out.
Oh, thanks.
So wait,
you should not zone out. We're discussing. Yeah.
Any news, or we're done with them?
We're done with news. That was it this week.
There wasn't news. We actually,
There was no actual news. So we're hoping next week with City Skylines we will definitely have things to talk about because of the stream. As for
if EA wasn't so damn secretive, maybe we'd have a little bit more news.
Which
Pablo,
as I said,
start
is the
plugging one of the EA.
We should. Everyone who watches the podcast go and message one of the gurus for the Sims and just tell them to stop being so goddamn secretive.
Isn't it funny they call themselves gurus?
And they don't tell us anything.
After the fact. Or they're like, oh, we can't talk about that. Next question. Yeah. So, Pablo, what's our official title? Santa Fallon's Mods? I don't know.
Fallon's Mods.
In Argentina.
Modellons.
Fashion.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go with that.
Pablo's a little sad because I won't talk about the mod that he likes this episode, but hey, there's like 300 billion of them, so we'll get to it eventually. If I feel like it, you perv. Such a perv, Pablo.
Whoa! You're the one using the Censor mod.
Find out next week what perv Pablo wants to talk about for mods. And slightly perv yawn. So there's 5 we're gonna talk about, and most of the mods that come out, there are some like cosmetic mods, and then there are some mods that change how parts of your game work. So I downloaded a couple of them myself because I like changing things every once in a while to make it easier because I'm lazy. So
test things out for you so you guys know they actually work.
Yeah. The first one is, I always say this, it's like a freaking tongue twister. The Freshness Fix.
Mm-hmm.
All these mods you can find on the Mod The Sims website, which is lina.modthesims.
And you'll find the links in the description below once
maybe you'll find the links. But so on or you can Google Mod The Sims because we know how Pablo remembers things so well.
Maybe you're like, oh, I just want that one that Fallon was talking about because I love when she recommends mods, and
Love it. So the fish mod, basically, for some reason in the game, they don't like to keep your fish fresh enough for you. They decay really rapidly. Even if you put them in the fridge, they decay super rapidly. So what this mod does is it gives them a longer shelf life if they're in your inventory, if they're in your fridge, and if you put them in a fish bowl, actually they won't decay. They won't die from coming like from nice to gross. So that one's good. Because like, what's the point of having to catch fish if they're just going to be poop, a day later?
One day, yeah.
On one day. So that's the first one.
Fish, by the way, are fish that fragile, by the way? You can keep
In
them
real
in the fridge
life?
more than like you can freeze it and it will last.
In real life, they're not. Yeah, there's no freezer option though in The Sims.
Well, you just assume, I guess.
Expansion pack, fish
Freezers!
freezer.
The freezer expansion pack.
New way to kill your Sims. Put them in the freezer. That
But
would
they're
be.
not gonna be, they're not gonna get into the freezer alone because they don't want you to get killed by accident. So you have to put them in the freezer by yourself. But
you get them to get something in the freezer, and then you get the evil Sim in your family to close them in.
Ah, nice. Yeah, they stick them in there with the fish, and you'll never have to worry about them decaying. The next one, there's a couple. There's two versions of this that I would use. I use it's the no censor mod. It takes the dang blurry mosaic tiles off your Sims when they go to the bathroom and when they go to the shower, the tub. The full one that takes off the censor completely also takes off the breastfeeding sensor. It is nice, but it's also a little creepy because your Sims look like Barbie dolls underneath. And if you're okay with that, then you don't have a problem. I sometimes still get a little freaked out. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Sorry, that was a naked man, and he looked like a girl. No. If you don't want to be super creepy, there is a smaller sensor mod, which covers like, I can't show you with my face, but
I'm showing
it covers this much of the Sims. So like from the boobs down to the area.
Yeah.
That's what it covers.
It basically shrinks down the stupid big one.
The only thing is, I believe there is not an addition to cover the breastfeeding sensor, so you're still going to have that blur over your baby.
Which is okay, because otherwise they're just clipping through the clothes, so
Yeah, if you take the sensor off, you see the baby's face going into the boob. Whatever. She has a magical hole there in her shirt. So the next one is, I use this one. It's the your stuff breaks less mod. There's 3 different ones you can download. There's one that changed the percentage of stuff breaking. Normally, the game, I believe they said it sets it at a 67% chance to break, which seems like a lot.
Quite high. Right.
Yeah.
67%?
Yeah, so that's kind of like a big one. So you can download 3 different ones. There's one where they only break 5%, 15%, or 30%.
67%
is the default. Is what the
but
game
it means
is.
That every 2 out of 3 times it will break.
Yeah, it's kind of high.
Well,
they break,
I'd say it's 1 out of 5, not 2 out of 3.
Well, for me, when one thing breaks, then it's like a chain reaction where everything else then breaks within like. So, when you download, you can either change it to stuff breaking like 5% or 15% or 35 or 30 or 35%. I didn't want it to be like, so I did the 30% one. I can still deal with fixing stuff. I mean, how else am I going to get handiness?
Right.
I'm not fixing stuff.
I like to step in here because I mean, it is true they break quite often. Maybe it'd be nice to tone it down a little bit. But the reason why they put it here is because first, no open world, so you need more inner house plate, right? And this is part of it.
Yeah.
And also a way to get handiness, and the parts that you need to then upgrade.
Yeah.
So, but I guess breaking a little bit less could be okay.
Yeah, if you don't want to have to keep buying the parts all the time.
Especially because you can't call anyone to repair it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is effed up. Go ahead and... Okay, yeah.
Put it in.
Yeah.
Free batch.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe they wanted you to focus more on your Sims getting the skills from things than having just being lazy and just calling the maid every time or calling the repairman every time.
Instead of being themselves.
Whatever. Yeah, except for doing it yourself.
Maybe that could be the Christmas gift for repairman.
Oh yeah, the Christmas of the Christmas. So the next mod is the coffee gives more energy mod. So basically, I've had coffee in the game and it does nothing. There's like not even a point to drinking coffee in the game as it is. It's like, oh, I drank some coffee. Pew! And I got a little hint of energy. So the game's defaults for energy were like 10. You drank coffee, you got 10. So what this mod does is there's two different kinds of coffee. You can get the medium caffeine or the strong caffeine. The medium caffeine will raise it from 10 to 55, and the strong will raise it from 10 to 115. So basically, you can actually, drink coffee and you'll have energy for when you go to work and it won't be pointless.
Although I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a limit? Can I just drink 5 cups of coffee and get 100% energy? And
you can
sleeping.
There's like a screenshot example. If you before energy was in the yellow and he drank 2 cups of the medium and it went to the green.
That's okay. What I'm showing is actually 2 cups, guys. Not 1. Yeah. 2 cups.
2 cups. So you can drink, but I think there's always a negative for drinking too much coffee. I'm sure your bladder is going to go.
Yeah.
And
still
after
a good
that
trade-off because sleeping takes like 8 hours.
I know, and then you're going to have the caffeine buzz, like the downside where it always wears off, and then you're like, oh, I'm so tired now because I haven't had my caffeine
anymore.
But yeah, it didn't make sense for you to have a coffee and it didn't actually, coffee, that's what coffee's supposed to do. It's supposed to keep you up.
Yeah.
But so this one will, there's even also a tea version to give caffeine to your tea, but I don't drink tea in the game.
Well, you know that this tea actually has, it's not caffeine, but it has the same effect.
Rocks.
It has thein, which is the tea version of it.
There you go.
It's slightly less addictive than coffee.
Nice. And then so the last mod for today is the realistic bills mod. There's another version of this, but that one is a little too unrealistic. So the game basically puts all this income tax in your bills, which is why if you think your $8,000 bill is a little high for some reason, it's because you're getting taxed out the butt. So the realistic bills one basically takes out some of those taxes. So your bills are more, I don't want to say realistic, but they're smaller.
They're more balanced.
Yeah, they're more balanced. So like for example, I don't know if Pablo is showing it on the picture, but the guy's bill went down to like 760 or something, and it used to be like 8,000 because he took that's what that is. If you're really cheapo, the other version is a set $100 by the same person. But so this one is if you still want to have, like realistic. The bills are once a week. So, I mean,
right,
give or take.
Although I'll say like, I don't know how. Okay, this is the what I was telling Fallon, because I don't know if it unbalances the game because they put that price there for a reason, right? For you to have like some kind of like challenge in the game.
Yeah.
And this that I see here, maybe this is the over exaggerated one that says down from 8,000 plus down to 780, which is like I don't know, like 8% of that. It was reduced by 82%. So that is quite a lot. And I think the reason why they put all that is for you to go like, oh, damn, I gotta save, I cannot just do whatever, just buy furniture and it's gonna be there forever and I'm not gonna pay anything. So I don't know, like, I don't know if it gets too expensive at a certain point, that's why people feel like...
Well, there's like a...
What happens if you stop working? Can you live off the money you have?
Well, there's like
there's tax, right?
There's tax. There's 2 groups of people. So, okay, like the Sims, the bills of obviously the more stuff you have in your house and your household inventory all gets counted towards your bills. You don't have to have a job in the Sims. You can live off of painting or writing books without having a job or gardening or fishing, whatever. But like there's like a group of people that say it's too easy to get money and a group of people that say it's too hard to get money. So
skill.
So for some people, they don't know the tricks to get all that. Like,
yeah, I guess because many of us are just way too OCD with things and do things like this. So there's no way you can not make money.
Yeah, I mean, your Sims do get quite a lot from their jobs once they get up in that level.
But actually, you can just like go about and finding rocks and selling them. You're gonna be making at least 1,000 a day minimum. There's no way you're making less than 1,000 a day. And no taxes on it.
Yeah, but your Sims are going to be like Hulk Hogan or like the Hulk. Your Sims will be super ripped from digging all this.
Wait, they get ripped?
From digging up rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pablo, they get ripped.
Don't give me like, oh, it's obvious. It's a video game. I never know when they apply a skill to something or not.
Yes, we discussed this 2 weeks ago.
We did.
3 weeks ago.
Like, they get super...
Was I dying out of hysteria? Because that could be a thing.
No.
I was affected by it.
There was a pregnant woman. I specifically remember there was a pregnant Sim who was digging out rocks and was very ripped.
Yeah, my pregnant Sim, I saw her naked in the shower because of the no censor mod. She had abs on her pregnant belly. She dug 2 rocks, Pablo.
Does she do any exercise? No, it's from doing exercise. Mine didn't get that ripped.
No, it's not. It's not.
Damn.
Did you take their clothes off, Pablo? You need to take their clothes off because they get ripped. Remember when you said my Sim looked buff when she got married? That's because she dug up 1 rock. 1!
It's very hard to dig the rock.
Yes, incredibly difficult.
Yeah. So
wow.
So I mean, these are for people, you know, some of these are for people who find the game too hard for them, and then, you know, there are always, you know, people that find the game hard, and that is the point. They wanted to make things more challenging. That's why the bills are higher. That's why, you know, stuff is the way it is. Stuff breaks so often. Your relationships decay like every 5 seconds.
Yes.
But not everyone can, like, I haven't even explored every single aspect of the game. Like, my Sims kind of do their thing, and then, like, that's it.
Yeah.
So.
There's so much.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be people who like mods like this, and then always going to be people who already think they're making it too easy. So it's just, if you like the mod, go and pick it up. If you don't like the mod, don't pick it up. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, not everything is forever.
I like to add that many people say there's not too much to do in the game, but I think they're just limiting themselves to what they used to do in previous Sim games, right? They're like, that's all I can do in this, and that's it. But I haven't tried, not even 50% of the content there, and I've been freaking doing Let's Plays. And
yeah, Pablo does a lot more in his Let's Plays than I do, because I'm just so like, I have to do this. And this, I'm like, freaking out in my mind.
But even I'm still in my box. I just realized, like, man, I feel like the game is really small. And then I started to think about it. I was like, I haven't done anything in the game. I haven't tried this. I haven't even gotten a rocket. I haven't even mixed the DNA of 2 plants. Why haven't I mixed the DNAs of 2 plants yet? I thought that feature was cool, and I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know, like you get in. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, no, I think it's just some people like a certain way to do their games and a certain way to play it, and they look at these features and they're like, well, I won't be interested in that, and there's just a list of them, and they just are like, well, there isn't enough content that I like in the game. Screw all this other content that's in the game, and I haven't tried because I already think I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah, I agree.
So
but to be honest, I mean, I thought the on the Nightlife expansion pack, that'll be like just terrible on The Sims 3. Like, just, I don't know, I'm getting it because I don't know. That's just, I don't know, I think maybe, I know, let's see if the apartment part, maybe it's good. I love the entire thing, even if it took me out of my comfort zone, which is, suburbs and all that. But once you try, you're like, oh, there are interesting mechanics here because you can do this, this, and that. So I guess because the game is more like do what you want kind of game, and instead of forcing you to go through everything, you don't get to explore all of it because you don't technically have to. You don't have to mix the DNA of plants to succeed in the game. That's just one of the things you can do, Yeah,
and I'm sure too, like, some people, unless you go to the forums or you Google stuff, you just don't know. Like we didn't know once you got up to level so much in gardening, you could make new plants. You could graft one kind of plant onto different kind of, and they have this one plant grow all different stuff. Or you didn't know about the cow plant, or like you didn't know about building a rocket, or like, because there's all these careers out, and I never end up picking every single career when I make my Sims. I pick a couple, and I never explore the other ones. Or if I do, I only get so far in the career. I don't ever get to the end. Like in Sims 3 or was it Sims 2, the end one was to be a superhero. I never got that far. I tried, but I never got to be a superhero because your sim could like fly a little bit, right? But so there's so much stuff.
They could fly?
I think it was just like a little animation like thing you had.
Something.
Still awesome.
Yeah. No, but it's just if you think that the game doesn't have enough, try pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. I mean, there's always things like there's always games where you're like, oh, I've done everything, but that's because you did it in the way you like. Maybe try doing something different next time, and just there's always options.
Look for the hidden
some games
world.
are just shit, but
True, I haven't even gotten to that.
To what?
To
the hidden world?
The hidden world part, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Sims, like, you know, the one you have to have max handiness to get to, which you might not know if you never went to the park or, you know, and I do sometimes, like, right now I'm kind of like, I'm stuck in my house, so sometimes I don't go to explore. Or maybe because you have the stigma, like, I don't want to have to go through all these loading screens, so I don't want to have to, how am I going to play the game? Just, meh. Yeah. Meh. Meh. Meh.
just, as you said,
Just
push
do
yourself
it.
out of the comfort zone and you'll be fine. Just do it. Do it now.
Well, you guys talking about just
Like Nike.
showing the
Just
website
do
around,
it.
so we got some
That's
conversation
fine, yeah.
going on.
So,
there.
like, I haven't.
Yeah, go ahead.
I replied to the one that replied to our.
That is actually
expansion
exactly what I'm
one.
showing. Awesome, amazing plugin
Nice.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, just something and something,
if you're
but
one of those people who
that would
don't
be
know
really
what to do,
interesting.
just go on the forums. Go on our forums. Discuss.simnation.net. Just go. Make a top.
Indeed.
Like I don't know.
Or
what to do next
if you
in the
have
game.
a question,
and just people will help you.
Indeed.
yeah, if you have a question, definitely put it up there. And like, if you don't know something, or you're like, what happens if I do this, or whatever, or just like, you know, I've run out of things. Like, where is there other stuff you can do besides this and this and this? Ask.
Yeah, just do.
Indeed.
The three of us are always lurking on the forums, and so is George, who does the S magazine, and it's,
True.
someone will respond to you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're
Don't
nice people.
worry.
We don't bite.
Granted, I'm
I mean,
not the best at
unless
the
you
Sims,
want
but
us to.
If you have questions in other simulation games, I'm perfectly willing.
We're gonna have to make a separate forum for that. Things
Late
got
night
just
bite.
uncensored.
It just got uncensored.
Somehow
But yeah,
we have to make it always
Get it?
explicit.
Yeah.
Always.
That's
I already
the
said
way.
Yeah.
fuck it twice today. No, so yeah, I
Um,
think that kind of covers our thing, doesn't it? I mean, that kind of covers the news section and the mod section. Now, if you want to stick around, we're just going to talk about something random, like we always do.
Yeah, that's
Except
what we like
more
doing.
in a condensed version.
Yeah, although, yeah, we have like 10 minutes only, so
Yeah.
good job.
So that was good. 10 minutes of poop. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It always has to
we
be
do want
this podcast, don't it?
people to talk more on the forums. I was telling Pablo like the first day it came out, we were all like frantically
Yeah.
replying.
Like
and
you
stuff, and then it
guys
kinda-
are replying here on YouTube. Go ahead and join us on the forums. We
Yeah.
want to get to know you,
Yeah.
you know, be buddies. Share a mate, maybe we you know?
You know,
Yeah,
keep
and even if
posting
you
the
don't want to-
houses.
Even if you don't want to talk about the games that we have subforum set up for, there's a lounge kind of section, and you can just
Yeah.
post anything in there. Just anything. Like, oh, I found this amazing article and want you
Anything.
guys' opinion on it. Just anything. If you want Pablo to come over to your house and bite you, just post it in there.
I will only bite under the circum. I can't do that with a straight face. Sorry.
You have to pay him. It's like a service. Pays for
I'm
Pablo
poor.
bites.
I will do it for food.
Whoa
And a plane
there.
ticket. He will just do it. Just give him food and
Yeah.
a plane ticket, and he'll bite you as many times as you want.
Oh man.
Pablo, you need to wait for the one expansion to come out, so that when you become an architect and you have to build people's houses, then you could post them up on the house building section.
True. I'm actually
Of
showing
course.
some people's creations that they posted on the Sims forums of SimNation Discuss or forums, and interesting things you can see here. Interesting
Just-
things.
Some are very
I-
lovely, and while the section does say, I think it says Sims 4, just if it's Sims 3, doesn't matter, just post anything. We'll be happy
yeah.
for any content.
Yeah.
We're content whores. We'll do anything.
Yeah, we'll hoard anything.
They will. No, I'm just kidding. And it does only say The Sims. So.
I see.
See, you can post anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Sims
matter
2.
which Sims game you play.
Sims
Just post,
Online.
post.
Yeah, actually, here's somebody that posted
Sims on the console.
3 house right here. BL4
It was actually a really, really, really lovely house.
Oh yeah, you saw it on this with the sunset on it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice one. Yeah.
I've only made like 3 houses, I think, or 4.
Oh, there's a Fallon thread as well.
Oh, for my houses, I made you're supposed to make a thread for all of your building stuff, and then I made one. I was like the first person. I was the first person, and I only make like 4 my houses. It's really hard to build houses, and then there's a dang restriction. You know what? I realized.
Fallon's homes. There, I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you take the screenshot in the game, it saves it as a PNG file, which are huge.
Yes.
I had to save one as a JPEG just to make it small enough to fit on to upload it.
Yeah,
there's a limit. So, yeah.
Or you could always just go to one of the uploading services. I think you can attach link pictures in there as well. So you have Imager, TinyPic, whatever. Just post content. We want content.
Yeah. And then when the pools come out, all the houses you're going to post when you build all these pool-related houses.
Yeah. You think about that.
We did forgot to mention one thing in the news section. The new S magazine is out. You should go check
That
it.
is true. The
Amazing.
new S magazine is out. Let me take you guys to
I haven't read the
SimNation.
entire thing yet. But I've been going through it a bit, and it's really lovely. George does an amazing work at it.
Yeah.
And considering his age, I'm amazed. I'm just amazed.
True. He's 14. And don't underestimate a 14-year-old. He's well, I wouldn't say future entrepreneur. He already is. So there's even a post he made on the website. Thank you for 1 year and issue 9 because the magazine just turned 1 year. So yay!
Yeah,
it can walk now.
And it's really, really lovely. And just the picture is always amazing, and the builds are always amazing. And I always go, I wish I could build like this.
Nice.
And that's a really lovely thing to look into. And just we forgot to mention it earlier. But
Yeah.
I'm
It's
older
all
than
on our
14,
website.
and I can't do that.
I'm way older than 14, and I can't do that.
There you go.
I'm
See,
15
she
now.
rocks.
Yep. So check out the S magazine.
By the way, since we're like plugging things around,
He really loves that.
you
Now
know,
they know
like
it's
the
not
ballerina
sexual.
kind of introduction.
Yeah.
I started a new series. I'd say kind of new series called SimCity City Rescue. And basically, what I do is go ahead and pick up cities that are abandoned by some horrible mayors, and I go ahead and reclaim them, and I look at what's wrong with them, and I just forgot I had to publish it today, and just every Monday, and basically I just try to fix them, and I try to ignore the fact that they don't use rounded corners, and I really need that, but oh well. In the city that I picked, oh my god, it's giving me the headaches because it's so wrong with it. Like traffic's just getting stuck everywhere. It has like minus 6,000 budget an hour. It's terrible. So if you wanna see me, stressed out in a game, you should totally check out SimNation City Rescue, where we save cities.
And you do one city a week?
Once a week.
Or are you pulling them out?
Well,
No. Do you do one city per episode, or are you pulling them out now?
the idea is to do one
episode.
city per episode, but this one was so up, I had to divide it in 4 episodes. Because every time I was like, yes, I'm almost done. Nope. And I do a lot on the episode.
Pablo's Extreme City Makeover.
Yes. Oh, I didn't think that terrible. Okay, whatever.
I see some of the pictures in the magazine.
You
should do like
this poor man.
You should do like a Sims 4 building challenge where you like take an IKEA, like what are those books that have those like country living or something, and try to replicate it in the room in the Sims 4.
Yeah,
that would be cool. And then put it up on the gallery, and then Pablo can bite you as a reward.
Giggity.
No, but because I saw the pictures and I'm always like, man, because in real life you can't ever afford those dang country living kitchens or like IKEA kitchens. You should just make IKEA like themed and then rooms, just like rooms. I'm gonna do that. Buy me a book, Pablo. Buy me a country living book.
Fallon, just go on the forums, make a contest.
Yeah, make a contest, girl.
But what would the prize be?
A badge in the forums. Duh, everybody wants a badge in the forums to show.
I don't know how to get badge.
And a mention on the podcast. And we'll mention you here on the podcast, and Pablo will show a picture if he can manage.
Oh, yeah, we can. Oh,
I'm the tech part. Don't worry about it.
A little spotlight.
There's the SimCity contest. I mean, you can use that template and bring it into the Sims world. There you go.
Pablo thinks I'm too stupid to play SimCity.
I don't think you're stupid. You just don't play it. Although
he's
not laying down
too intricate
the water grid is kind of just saying.
I did. I just didn't know if I did it right or not.
Okay.
I didn't know if they should be this far or like super close. I was like, whatever. If you don't have water, it's not my fault.
Why people won't move in? Like, yeah, no water. Sorry.
I totally feel like
Lately, I feel like Fallon has been doing the water supply for my town because having issues with water so much lately.
Maybe you need to check your pipes and your piping and see if it's correct.
But if I keep my hands like this.
I told you, Pablo, stop wearing a black shirt. Wear a different color that's lighter. Wear like blue or green or something.
What are those? Colors?
Then the light won't make you look like you're glowing Jesus, okay?
Glowing Argentina and Jesus.
Jesus.
Exactly.
Joder.
I should make that a thing.
That was Spanish.
Every week, I should make an introduction in a different language.
Yes, that'll be interesting.
Because today I greeted these two guys with, what did I say? Guten Abend, meine liebe Podcasters. That was the one. Which is in German, which means good evening, my lovely podcasters.
There you go. That is your SimNation's weekly
this is some
language
nice
snippet.
Lighting.
I
like reading this magazine. It's giving me some good lighting on my nose. Doesn't make me look like a freaky, creepy, like super pale alien.
No.
Color.
This napkin is giving me the right amount of brightness on my face. Actually, I can hold it like this and it doesn't show
Maybe
up.
you should wear that napkin-colored shirt next time.
Yeah, it white balances.
Maybe I should wear white. I know what you're saying now for the 5th time. Now I understood it. I may actually use white.
White balance.
Ridiculous, Pablo. All right. Okay, oh my God, there was 122. Okay, I can't read this anymore. It's 122 pages.
now that we're just randomly talking, are we actually going to wrap up? I think we're in about an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, we hit an hour. So on my screen,
As Pablo,
there was actually a lot of.
The call is longer, but
as Pablo plays with his napkin because he won't wear any other color but black, we'll say goodbye for now.
Yes. Anyways, yes. That'll be all for now. Thank you for watching. That was Fallon right there. Got Jan and Pablo, and we'll be seeing you next time. Oh, this is the most satisfying thing ever. We are God in SimCity 4. Wow, that was loud. Oh, you're gonna eat that, huh? You're gonna eat it. I see. What? Nothing. Okay.
And now she is tossing that salad with her... Stop sticking your finger in your ear! All right, she's tossing the salad with her earwax.
Welcome.
You need to have them both coming out of your nose like this.
I can't. I just can't. Oh, yeah. These road trips, man, are killing me. Anyway, let me know whenever we are recording. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Extended Play. I'm your host. This is Stuart, and that is a fancy, fancy sign. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.